Today is June 15th, 2026. And that's crazy because that means we are in our 5th year of full-time travel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. We left in May of 2022. We boarded the Queen Mary 2 in New York City and took that across the Atlantic Ocean to England and kind of started this crazy life. Didn't know what it was going to be when we left. We were going to travel for 1 year for sure, and here we are, 4 years later. So we just kind of want to talk about where we're at, what life's been like, what life's going to be like, how things are going. We got a kind of a big announcement for 2027, but we're going to talk about the rest of 2026, kind of the state of our family, and just a few audience questions first, and then we'll get to the juicy stuff. So, where are we?
We're in Da Nang, Vietnam, and it's very hot.
It is so hot. We're upstairs on the roof of our building. It's like got a little cafe up here. Girls are downstairs in the room with the nanny, and it is so hot. There's no AC or anything up here. So, if you can hear the blinds clicking in the background, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But we were here for 6 months last year,
Yeah.
and we decided to come back for another 3 because we loved it so much last time. And what's your thoughts?
This time it's different. It's changed. We don't love it as much.
We don't. We don't. We've been trying to kind of put our finger on what that actually is
Yeah.
and what that means. It's just different. The big things I think is it's way more crowded. There's a lot more people here. So Indonesia and really Bali specifically have become more strict on visa runs, and same with Thailand.
Yeah, so basically it depends on where you're from, but like for instance, we get 30 days in Thailand, and a visa run would be you have to go somewhere different and come back, or extend in Thailand. You're able to extend, but yeah, they've got a lot stricter on that.
Yeah, it used to be you could just like run across the border to Laos or go down to Malaysia or something like that, and just like same day come back to Thailand and restart your visa clock. But they're really cracking down on that, and they don't want that anymore. So I think Da Nang is absorbing a lot of that overflow, and it can't. That's kind of been unfortunate. We've got some other friends here, and they've been noticing the same thing. They've been here for about a year. Kind of the same feeling, but that kind of stuff happens, and I think it happened with Thailand and happened with Bali in the past. Those places kind of got an influx of tourists and
Yeah.
expats and digital nomads and stuff like that. So, what about world schooling, homeschooling? How's that going?
Yeah, it's going great. The girls are doing awesome, and we've changed it up a little bit, but you'll find that out later.
Yeah, that's one of the Q's in the Q&A, so we will definitely come back to the world schooling, homeschooling in just a little bit. But health-wise, this lifestyle it's taking a toll. Not exactly where I want to be with my health and fitness right now. I kind of pretty much gave up running and working out once we left, and eating out every night and drinking beers with dinner every night has not exactly been the best thing for my body or our bodies. And I kind of want to see if I can figure that out. So we're working that out right now. Lily and I have been running every couple days, 3 days a week since we got to Da Nang, and it's been really nice, but I need more than that. I need to eat better and things like that, and start cooking at home probably, and not going out and having barbecue and Italian thing every night. So what's the rest of 2026 look like for Adam and Lynn's?
Yeah, so we aren't sure where we're headed after Da Nang yet, but we definitely have to get back to Europe because October 31st, we're taking a cruise from Barcelona to Florida.
Yeah, so kind of the opposite of where we were at when we came here, but this cruise is way different. The last one was like on the Cunard Ocean Liner with Queen Mary.
Yeah.
And this is going to be on like a Royal Caribbean with like 1 million families probably. And it's 13 nights too, so it's a lot longer.
Yeah, and we actually have stops this time.
Yeah, so we're going to stop in like the Azores and then down in Bahamas? Yeah, I think so. The Bahamas, and then we'll end in Orlando. But yeah, so we got to get to Europe. So we'll fly from Da Nang and maybe somewhere else in Asia first. And we'll be in Da Nang till the end of July, probably.
Yeah.
Then on to Europe. The girls haven't been to Rome yet, so we really want to go there. Plus, Italian food. Come on, we love it.
Right.
And then we kind of want to go to London. We kind of want to go to the UK and maybe Ireland if we can. But we don't have anything. All we know is October 31st,
We have to.
we get on a boat in Barcelona. It's not a boat, it's a ship. So, yeah, 2 weeks across the Atlantic on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Should be a lot of fun. And then we get to Orlando and what?
Yeah, and then we're meeting my parents, my brothers, their families for Disney.
Woohoo! So, yeah, if you've been following along, then you know that our girls have now been to every single Disney park outside the USA. So there's 6 parks, and they've been to all of them. Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Paris.
Yeah.
And there's 2 in Paris and 2 in Tokyo, so that's where the 6 come from. But then there's how many in Orlando? 4 parks?
4, I believe.
Yeah, so we'll be going to at least 3 of those, maybe
Right.
all 4.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see how crazy that gets. Then after that,
Yeah, after that, we're gonna fly back to Indiana for a couple weeks and see other family and friends.
so yeah, we just have some administrative things like getting an international driver's permit and doctor's appointments and just visiting family and friends and getting caught up on that. And then in early December, we'll be flying on to... You'll find out later. Let's do a Q&A. A couple questions, not too big, but you wanna?
Yep. So, has traveling changed you, and has your opinion on home changed?
Yeah. I know it sounds like cliche and to say like, oh, it changed me, but it does, right? If it didn't, it would be pointless. So I think one of the biggest things I notice personally is the relationships with people back home are different. We don't have as much in common anymore. So while I understand what they're going through with their lives and things like that, that's not the life I live anymore. So it's a little bit hard for me to fall into that. And then the same thing in reverse. They can't really talk with us about our struggles. They just like to say, whoa, well, why don't you just move back home? Well, that's not a valid solution for us. That's not what we want. So it's just difficult sometimes to communicate with the people that used to be really close to us in our lives, and it's hard to navigate, to be honest, for me. I think Lindsay does a better job of it than me, but maybe she's better than me. But I don't know. It's definitely changed. Traveling the world doesn't solve all your problems. Just kind of trades them for different problems. But
it's what we want.
But it's what we want. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
what we want. And it's not that I think that our way is the right way. There's no right way. It's the right way for us. And it might be the wrong way for you or someone else.
Yeah.
But we still love you. Okay, next question. I said we'd be back to the Worldschooling, homeschooling stuff. So, Lindsay, how are the girls doing in school?
Yeah, so they're doing great. Lily is in 4th grade math and 5th grade language arts. So that's pretty cool that we're able to do different grade levels and stuff. You know, can't really do that in a public school. You are pretty much on track for whatever grade you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the great things about this lifestyle that it allows us, and it becomes even more obvious, I guess, or clear when you look at Cora and Harper, who...
Yeah, so basically they're both in the same grade level. They're both in 2nd grade for math and language arts. So Harper, she loves to chase her sisters.
That's what it is. That's really what it comes down to. She sees her sisters and doing anything, and she wants to be right there.
Yeah.
She sees Cora starting to read and stuff, and she's right there wanting to learn how to read. And that's great, because Cora was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, so it's pushing her.
Hell yeah, until Harper started catching up, and now Cora's like, So it's kind of a nice little dynamic going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we love it. We love it. It's perfect for our life. It's perfect for our family. And even if we went back home tomorrow,
right,
we would still homeschool them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what works for us.
And we also do OUTSCHOOL classes, which are amazing because then the girls get to be in a live class with other kids and other teachers too. So
yeah,
it's just been nice because we have a mixture of things that we can do. And
yeah, we've talked about OUTSCHOOL before, but in case you don't know what it is, it's a online program with real life teachers that the girls can pick something they're interested in. Like Lily's in a cooking class right now. Harper's in a space club where she actually has other kids like on a Zoom call.
Yep.
And there's a live teacher and they get to talk about it and draw like the planets or whatever. It's awesome. Cora's doing painting and it's so cool. They love it. They're so excited about it all the time. My mom gives them a subscription to it every month, and then we add more to it just because it's such a cool program.
Yeah.
And it gives them that like real like communication with other people besides just us.
Yeah, exactly.
So, OUTSCHOOL's cool. They don't sponsor us. I wish they did. We do have a coupon code, and we would earn affiliate link if you use that, and it's
ADAMANDLINDS 50.
ADAMANDLINDS 50? Okay. So ADAMANDLINDS 50. Yeah, or down here somewhere. Yeah. ADAMANDLINDS 50 save you some money on OUTSCHOOL. You can use our code or not. It's whatever, but it's an awesome program, and we really like them.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, the big one. The big one we always get. Everyone always wants to know. How do you actually afford to do this? And the first thing, that was the easy one. That was year one. We sold our house at pretty much the peak of the pandemic housing boom.
Yeah.
And that money carried us for about 18 months. So we were able to travel and not have to worry about money for 18 months. And that was pretty awesome.
It was nice.
But after that 18 months, we had to figure it out. And I guess we'll just kind of go through the things that make us the least money to the most money. And the thing that makes us the least money is Instagram and every other social media platform except for YouTube.
Yeah.
So in our 4 years, lifetime earnings from Instagram and all other social media platforms except for YouTube is $0. We've made zero money off of any of those. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of followers and we don't actually push it very hard. We don't work very hard on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. Next thing is Patreon, buy me a coffee, PayPal donations, things like that. Genuinely, thank you for every single person that's ever donated to us. You know who you are. It means the world to us that you want to give us your money just because you like us. That's awesome. But that total amount is less than $100 lifetime. But you know who you are. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So the next thing that brings in a little bit of money is our guidebooks. So, don't know if you know this, but we wrote 2 guidebooks, and one on Tokyo, one on Taipei, and they took months and months and months of research and editing and putting together.
So long.
So long. And we've made around $500 lifetime on those 2 books. So you can probably guess why there hasn't been a third one. Exactly. All right. YouTube ad revenue. This one actually started making a little bit of money in December of 2022. We got monetized. We were in Tokyo, Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Something like that. We were in Japan. We were in Japan somewhere. We got monetized, which was awesome. To get monetized, you had to have like 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours on your YouTube channel. So it was pretty cool, but that does not bring in a lot of money. Since that day, we've averaged $445 a month from ad revenue on YouTube. Best month was $882. Worst month was $47. So it's fine. It's fun. We like making the movies, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Now what actually works. Lindsay started a travel planning business in what?
September of 2024.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So she's a licensed advisor through Cora.
Yep.
And she makes some money off that.
Yeah.
Trips for
Helping people plan cruises, all-inclusive resorts.
Yep.
Week-long trips to Spain.
Yep.
Wherever.
Yeah. So if you want any help or just want to talk to her.
Yeah.
Give her a call.
Send me
Send her an email.
Yep. Adam will put my email up here.
There. Don't move it too much. It's hard to do moving text. So yeah, but surprisingly, shocker, she's good at it, right? After planning our trips for years. Next thing is, before we left, I worked for my dad's company in Indiana, and I had to leave that as a full-time employee to start traveling, but I am now a 1099 independent contractor with them, and I do web development, coding projects, and I do all that on retainer, so I get a regular paycheck from that. And that's probably one of the hardest things I fight with is balancing that time, is all the other things we're doing, the fun things and the things I want to do and the building our business, and then also have to work on this other stuff that maybe isn't as fun for me.
Yeah.
So balancing that is a constant struggle, and I'm working on it. But yeah, that's been one of the things that's been keeping us on the road. Without that, we probably would have had to go home a while ago.
Yeah.
And get a real job. Because it definitely covered the gap until the next thing, which is the big one. We started getting brand sponsorships and partnerships.
Yeah.
And when we started, we made a rule with each other that we would not accept any brand deals with any companies we didn't believe in.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't see us hawking cheap earbuds and fake telehealth therapy.
Yeah.
Because we don't believe in those products. So we are now making some good money with brand deals and sponsorships. They sponsor a lot of our videos and posts and things like that. It's been pretty good, and we're doing.
Yeah. And we're thankful for it because we are able to continue our travel life.
But yeah, it's been good to work with these brands and partnerships and share the things we already do anyway, and they pay us. But
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome. And that actually brings us to today's one of our longest running channel partners, HOLAFLY. And I wanted to be clear about something. We said we only work with brands we actually use, and this is one of them. We've been using HOLAFLY for 2 years. The reason it made the list is simple. When your income depends on having the internet, connectivity is not optional. It is literally how we pay for this life.
So HOLAFLY has 2 ways to stay connected, depending on how you travel. If you have a specific trip coming up, they have unlimited data eSIMs covering more than 200 destinations worldwide. You buy it before you leave, scan the QR code, and you have data waiting for you the moment you land. No hunting for a SIM card in the airport, and no roaming charges showing up on your bill 3 weeks later.
But if you're traveling frequently like we are, we've been using HOLAFLY plans. This is a monthly subscription, one eSIM that works across more than 160 destinations. You've got 2 options, the unlimited plan for people who need to be online constantly, which is us, and the light plan, which gives you 25 gigabytes a month for more moderate use. The idea is you install it once and it just goes where you go. No swapping eSIMs every time you cross a border, no starting over, no gaps.
Another feature we really like is Always On. It's included with every HOLAFLY eSIM, starts working as soon as your eSIM is installed, and gives you backup connectivity in more than 150 destinations. It's one of those features you don't think about until you need it.
For context on why this matters to us specifically is when we have a layover in like Portugal recently, we didn't have to buy a Portugal or Europe specific plan. Always On gave us enough connectivity during our layover that we just didn't need another eSIM for only a few hours. It was great, actually.
Yeah. If you want to try HOLAFLY, use our code ADAMANDLINDS, and that gets you 5% off HOLAFLY eSIMs and 10% off HOLAFLY plans for your first 12 months. Link is in the description below, and we'll put it up on the screen right now.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, HOLAFLY, for being such fans of our channel and for continuing to support us. It genuinely means a lot.
Okay, one more question. Yeah. So we put a question up on Instagram the other day, and with only 2,200 followers, most of you all are full-time travelers like us. So,
so we didn't really get flooded with questions. But one of the questions that jumped out at us immediately was from our really good friends, Steph and Pete. Check out their channel and link in the description and stuff. They live in Chiang Mai, and they said, "When are you all coming to Chiang Mai?" Well, funny you should ask.
We're moving to Chiang Mai.
Okay, let us explain. For the last couple of years, we've really kind of been talking about having a home base. Not necessarily in the US, but somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably Asia, because we love Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And we're here in Da Nang, and we took the girls to the dentist the other day, and we find out that Cora needs to see an orthodontist. Mm-hmm. So we see the orthodontist, and they want to get braces and a palate expander in ASAP while her mouth is actively growing. And that's a 6 to 12 month process. So we could either stay here in Da Nang, or we could look for somewhere else. And Thailand keeps coming up. So we've been there a lot. We love it. And we have good friends there. Not just Steph and Pete in Chiang Mai, but Lindsay's sister-in-law's brother is also moving there soon. So that'll be kind of neat. And then we also have some really good friends down in the south. Several friends down in the islands. So. And then it's a good home base. It's a good spot to bounce around. You can fly from Chiang Mai or Thailand in specific to all over Asia. And we can make these trips.
And it'd be nice to have a house and our things and only travel with light.
Yes, that's one of the big things, I think. We have stuff. We can go, and it's like, I know we gave up stuff, but you still want a few things. The girls want some toys that we don't have to buy every time we go somewhere.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just having that kind of stuff and just Also making a trip without 5 suitcases, just making it with a couple backpacks. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We did that a couple times last year. Like when we
Yeah.
went to
We
Hong
were-
Kong. Oh my gosh, we didn't have to fly with any checked bags.
Yeah, it was
We flew
amazing.
with carry-on only. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing trips like that. So don't think that it's the end of the channel in that way. We'll definitely be
Yeah.
continuously traveling. We have to leave the country every 180 days for sure anyway. And you have to check in every 90 days. But if you leave the country, you don't have to check in for 90 days. So we'll definitely be trying to go
Yeah.
quite often. And then hopefully Cora can get her orthodontic stuff straightened out and we'll be good. But one of the things that's actually allowing us to go to Thailand now is they have a thing called Destination Thailand Visa, and it's new in the last couple of years. And what that means is we can apply for it. It has lots of different restrictions, but it's basically for people in our situation. And you have to prove you have like income. You have to prove how much money you have, things like that, what kind of work you do, and then you can get a visa for 5 years and you can come and go pretty much as you please. Like I
Yeah.
said, though, you have to leave every 90 day, 180 days, but that's not a big deal. And then, yeah, so we've barely scratched the surface on it. It looks like we qualify for it. Some of our good friends, the Dufresnes, also have a channel. Check out their link. They're actually applying for it right now. They're in the middle of the process. So we've been kind of following along with them to see how it's working out. And now we're going to try it and see how it goes. So we'll let you know like how much it costs us, what kind of paperwork we need to submit, things like
Yeah.
that. I mean, to be honest though, it could all fall apart. We could get denied for the visa. We could change our minds. Whoa, that's happened before. Yeah, so we don't know. We haven't booked a place. We haven't filled out a single form. Still really early.
Yeah.
But that is the plan for now. And it is definitely not the end of travel. We'll still be taking trips to Japan and other places in Asia. We want to get down to Indonesia. We'd like to get back to the Philippines and maybe go to Laos finally. We haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So definitely subscribe and we'll have more updates coming. And comment, ask us questions. If you have any advice or questions about the DTV, we'd love to hear them or answer them. And link is in the description for OUTSCHOOL. Thanks again to them. Use our code ADAMANDLINDS to save 5 to 10%. And we'll see you in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
All right. Love you all. Bye.